Welcome back to Hannity. There are new details regarding the Martin Bashir, Sarah Palin controversy. Now, first, Breitbart.com has exclusively obtained a letter that was sent to NBC News from the Sarah Palin Political Action Committee. Now, that letter not only inquired about what disciplinary measures the network was going to take against the host, but also asked a very interesting question. It read in part, quote, "You fired Don Imus for offensive language in describing the Rutgers University women's basketball team. You suspended Alec Baldwin, and yet nothing has happened to Mr. Bashir. Are we to assume, then, that disciplinary procedures at your network take place based on the target of the remarks rather than the remarks themselves?" Well, I can't wait to hear the answer to that one. Meanwhile, Fox's own Howie Kurtz is reporting that the former Alaska governor has canceled her Christmas season interview with Matt Lauer as a protest against the network. And just in case you missed it, Martin Bashir said on Friday that Governor Palin deserves the same punishment given out by an 18th century slave master who forced slaves to defecate and urinate in other slaves' mouths.
When Mrs. Palin invokes slavery, she doesn't just prove her rank ignorance. She confirms that if anyone truly qualified for a dose of discipline from Thomas Thistlewood, then she would be the outstanding candidate.
Here with reaction, author of the best-selling book, Never Trust a Liberal Over 3. Hello, Ann Coulter.
Hello, Sean Hannity. This
is so vile, twisted, sick, and ugly.
Yeah.
Nothing happens to the guy. What would happen if any conservative radio, TV...
This goes far beyond this.
Far beyond.
What kind of diseased mind comes up with something like this? And I think it's worth pointing out what... I mean, it's hard for me to imagine any circumstance in which you would call for someone's mouth to be defecated into. But it is a massive overreaction to the speech they are complaining about. Sarah Palin was talking about the financial slavery coming to all Americans if the government keeps spending. Before she used the word slavery, she expressly said, I am not talking about racial slavery. So, you know, your average liberal would have to say, oh, well, there's nothing there. Let's all go home and dream of happier days when we can nail her on something. They have nothing. And he goes on this peculiar overreaction. He is someone who really doesn't believe anything. He just desperately wants to keep his job. And if MSNBC announced one day we're going all Nazi, he'd be fine with it. I'll be a Nazi by 5. He just wants to keep his job. This is the reaction of someone who has no true emotion or beliefs and thinks, oh, is this how you humanoids criticize one another?
Whether you like Brian Williams, Tom Brokaw, Matt Lauer, whether you like him or not, this is a brand that is damaged now. And by the way, you just told me that you have a column coming out tomorrow. You're defending Alec Baldwin.
Yes, I am.
All right, before we do that, let's play a little remembering of Alec Baldwin, reminder of what you're defending here. Let's roll the videotape.
What are you going to do? I hope you choke. Thank you.
You're the one that almost hit my wife with the microphone in the face? Oh, you didn't?
Yeah? I honestly did not.
You want to apologize to her on camera? I asked you a question. You want to apologize to her? I asked you a question. Okay, get the out of here.
Get out of the middle. Get out of the middle. I did nothing wrong, Alec.
Alec, do you think it's okay to see women like that?
Exaggerating what happened.
I want you to get back up, man. I got to get my car. Get back up. Back up.
I'm leaving this message with you to tell you, you have insulted me for the last time. You have insulted me. You don't have the brains or the decency as a human being. I don't give a that you're 12 years old or 11 years old or that you're a child. So you better be ready Friday, the 20th, to meet with me. So I'm going to let you know just how I feel about what a rude little pig you really are. You are a rude, thoughtless little pig, okay?
Now, wait a minute. He's telling reporters, I hope you choke to death. He's telling a woman, screaming at a woman, war on women. He's screaming at her, get the blank out of here. You hear how he talks to his daughter. Then I'm not even mentioning having a plane have to go back and get him off the plane because he can't stop playing with his little game on his
I totally
iPhone.
Support him on that.
All right, you're
out of your mind.
You're going to defend this? Why?
Yes.
Why would they hire him?
Look, the same way Sarah Palin asks MSNBC or NBC, do you have a different standard on which comments and words are appropriate depending on the target? I think some conservatives have a little bit of a different standard depending on who says the words. And it's one thing to say, as you did at the beginning, what would happen if a conservative said that. I happen to agree with you on this, but I think this is really small bore and short-term thinking to go after Alec Baldwin for
I'm not saying to fire anybody.
Words.
I didn't even say to fire Bashir.
But we're playing their game, and in all of these cases, oddly enough, perhaps it is an accident, Alec Baldwin is angry and frustrated at targets that conservatives traditionally hate. Reporters, harassing stalkers, useless government regulations, which, by the way, have been overturned.
And Coulter, the man is unhinged. Why do you hire an unhinged... He has a what problem?
He has a temper problem.
To say it mildly. All right, let me give one more example.
Wait. Just let me say one thing about, I mean, the ugliest one is obviously that phone call, and I'm sure it makes you happy that it pains him every time that plays. Look, he was exploding over something there is legitimate anger toward our divorce laws and child custody laws, which have been written by feminists and are relentlessly biased against men.
You have gotten weak in your old age.
He may be a jerk and have bad politics, but he's right about custody laws. He is right about government regulation.
To talk to your daughter that way. It's never right to act like way on a plane.
He's right about reporters, these obnoxious reporters. Leave the man alone.
So I walk up to a woman and I use the F word and scream at her and call her an idiot, and I'm going to get hired by a network?
Well, I don't.
Come on.
Look, she's a reporter who's obviously harassing him in his
harassing him? She's asking a question.
He's getting
if it wasn't for reporters.
Look, we don't know the details of this, but most of the time it is not that. They are
I got one more example. This one.
They are harassing him, trying to go about his day.
Schultz,
I'm for reporters being hit.
We don't even have time for Matthews and Sharpton. Let's go to Schultz.
You damn right Dick Cheney's heart's a political football. We ought to rip it out and kick it around and stuff it back in him. I'm glad he didn't tip over. He is the new poster child for health care in this country. He is an enemy of the country, in my opinion, Dick Cheney is. He is an enemy of the country. Lord, take him to the promised land, will you? See, I don't even wish the guy goes to hell. I just want to get him the hell out of here. Do you know what they're talking about? Like this right-wing slut, what's her name, Laura Ingraham? Yeah, she's a talk slut.
You going to defend this imbecile, too?
No, I'm not, but I still don't support... I mean, I wouldn't listen to him. He's vulgar and stupid, but... I don't support the word police, and I don't like when conservatives jump on this bandwagon.
I'm not supporting the word police.
I know you aren't, but an awful lot of people are.
The NBC
and
news
to play
brand,
their game is helping them and supporting their worldview that a person should be fired for a word he uses.
And there are people that are paid to listen to every word you and I utter, and Rush Limbaugh, Mark Levin utter, and everything said on Fox, with the very purpose of catching us saying one thing that's not correct, so they can target our advertisers and get us fired. Listen to what they say every day, and NBC hires them.
I agree, and I think it's great for you to play that so that people see what lying hypocrites they are. I am just saying,
how vile they are.
I'm just saying I am not going to play their game and be shocked and demand that they be fired. He's an idiot, but I don't think anyone should be fired for using a politically incorrect word. This is the thing about liberals.
I'm not calling for firing. I'm pointing out a double standard.
I know you aren't. Liberals have no moral opprobrium for wild polymorphous perversity, for adultery, for lying, for criminality. The one thing that gets their goat is when a politically incorrect word is used.
I got to roll.
I'm against that.
Thank you, Ann Coulter.